Hi and welcome to my first proper YouTube video. I've decided to do a brief introduction to the Freedom Programme. Now the Freedom Programme is a group programme for women that are or have experienced domestic abuse. It was created by Pat Craven, who used to be a probation officer. She ran her first programme in 1999 and has since rolled it out to all over the country. It is 11 sessions of an hour and a half each session. And women can be, all women are welcome. Women can self-refer, they can be referred from other statutory or voluntary organisations. I have facilitated the Freedom Programme since 2015. I was very lucky enough to do my facilitator training with Pat Craven. And my referrals tend to have come from social services, women that their children may be on child protection plans. It's not compulsory for women to come to the Freedom Programme. They have to want to come. But having said that, there are women that feel that they need to do it, even if they don't really want to, because they feel it might go against them if they don't. My experience of women that do feel like that is that within a couple of weeks they actually think, oh, you know, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But I want to make it clear that it is certainly not compulsory for any woman to attend the programme. So so the first programme was run by Pat Craven in 1999, and this has evolved massively over the years. And the Freedom Programme is now recognised as one of the leading interventions for and support programmes for women that have been through domestic abuse. So when a woman comes to the first session, she'll be given two books. So she'll be given this book, which is Living with the Dominator. And this is kind of like their Bible, if you like, and mine. We refer to this throughout the whole programme. And they're also given this, which is the Home Study course. Now, this book has got several benefits, I feel. The first one, of course, is if for whatever reason a woman can't attend a particular session, then she can catch up on this, because it goes through each session and you read it in conjunction with this book, and you fill in how you feel, your thoughts on the different questions. So it's exactly the same as the group programme. It can't replace the group programme, because you can't replace the atmosphere and the the support that you get in a group program. But if you have to miss a session, then you can keep up with the program through this. The other benefit of this book, I feel, and that I tell women, is that it's a good evidence. It's a good evidence-based book that women can use to show social workers, child protection chairs, courts, maybe even if they ask for it. They can show them that they've engaged with the programme. And that can be a benefit sometimes, I think. It's also really good for women to look back on in, years to come, to see how far they've come. And, I've facilitated the programme to many women over the years, and some of them have come back to me and said, oh, I found the Home Study book, I read it, it was like really interesting, that I thought that way then and I think this way now. So that book really has kind of its own merits. Now, when the women come in, they'll be feeling really nervous. They always feel really awkward, nervous. None of them want to talk about their own experiences or name their abusive partner, that's fine. That is why we talk about the dominator. Now I'll go on to that in the next video, because that's a whole different subject. But no one has to talk about their own experiences or name their own abusive partner. Guaranteed within 2 or 3 weeks they all will be. They will be talking to each other about their own experiences, and they will all be naming their abusive partner. It's very nerve-wracking for women to come into a group like this, and I don't know what to expect. They think it's going to be really horrible, really depressing, really upsetting. I try to make my programs really light-hearted and informal, to relax the women. So the women sit down, and then I introduce myself, and I ask them to introduce themselves in the Freedom Program way. Now this is kind of an icebreaker. It helps the women to relax. It's a bit funny, feel a bit silly doing it, but it works. So I will say, I want you to think about a wonderful description of yourself. Because women that have been through domestic abuse or have been or are, they don't tend to think of themselves in a very positive way. They've got very low self-esteem. So, and they can find it really, really tough to think of a wonderful description of themselves. But I help them. The other women help them. So I say, for example, it has to start with the same letter as your Christian name starts with. So, for example, I could be Sensational Sharon. And then I ask them to think of anywhere in the universe that they could come from. So it could be any country, any planet. So again, it has to start with the same letter as the first letter of your Christian name. So I would be Sensational Sharon from Saturn. So then we go round. And it takes a while. And then at the beginning of each session, I ask everyone to introduce themselves in their freedom name. One thing I want to kind of emphasise is because a lot of people, a lot of professionals say to me, "Oh, you're teaching these women." So I'm not teaching them anything. I don't need to teach them anything. They're living that life. They're living the experience. What I do is I create and facilitate a safe environment for them to be able to talk about it and to get support from each other. And for me, that is doesn't matter what I'm saying about the content of the program. For me, the most positive thing about the Freedom Program is that women will realise that they are not the only ones going through it. They will realise that there are other women that have had same experiences. They'll realise that they can actually support other women. This is the strongest and the strongest benefit that I can explain about the Freedom Program. It is so empowering. For me, it is so empowering. Every program I do, every session I do, reinforces why I do this job, because these women are so strong. They don't think they are, but they are so strong. So after we've introduced ourselves, we go through some ground rules really. So I write it on a flip chart. So for example, it could be confidentiality. One of the strange ones which they find strange is that we say you don't turn your phone off. So in a lot of training things and programs that you go on, you ask to switch your mobile phone off. We don't do that because that woman could still be living with her abusive partner and he might be checking up on her. If she didn't answer her phone, that could put her at more risk. So we say, do keep your phone on and do it, walk out and answer your phone if you need to. We work together as a team, and what's said in the room stays in the room. And we agree to differ because everybody's experience of domestic abuse is very different. Some women will have been physically abused, some women will have been emotionally abused, some women will have experienced coercive control, financial abuse, sexual abuse. All of our experiences are different. and we're all going to have very different opinions on those experiences. So that's a really important ground rule, is to agree to differ and to listen to each other. Most of all, it's to have fun, and we do have fun. And you might not think that a program like that could be fun. Trust me, it is. As I say, I try to make my programs very informal, very light. But yeah, we have great fun. And at the end of the program, I give out certificates, and we have a little celebration where we all bring in food, and we just celebrate the fact that we have made it through the program. We're stronger. Knowledge is power. And that is what gets us through. So I hope that that's clear enough little introduction. I don't want to go too much into it. My next video will be talking about the dominator, and that will explain the actual sort of process of the sessions and how the sessions are put together. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as usual, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with anybody that you feel might be interested, and I'll see you all very soon.